Hi, everyone. Welcome to our presentation. We're happy to have you here. The purpose of this presentation is to secure our intellectual property for our software called Unransom, which combats ransomware. Today, we'll be talking about the intellectual property process map, inputs and outputs, and support and process execution, along with the other table of contents items here you see. On the next slide, you'll see our process map. And this is just a roadmap that we'll follow to get from step one, defining the IP, all the way to publishing the IP in the public domain. And in detail, you'll see the process map entails defining the IP, which is just what exactly is our intellectual property, which is our software, the methodologies um, to reverse ransomware. We'll also be searching for existing IPs, which we haven't found. IP protection types, we determined we needed a patent and a trade secret for this. And the use case will be for business purposes. The estimated budget we haven't determined yet until we get some more information about the IP process. And once we get all that sorted out, we'll begin the IP process and we'll also contact a legal counsel to guide us through that application. And then finally, once we filled out the application, we can review the application through second and third party review, just so we get everything correct. And then finally submit the application. And we expect to fully cooperate with the federal examiner, who will hopefully approve our application the first try. And then finally, we can publish the IP into public domain. Next, I'll pass it on to Scott, who will be talking about the capture, register, and protection of intellectual property.
Thank you, Jonathan. So capturing, registering, and protecting intellectual property. We will register the business, including the domain and product names. Then we will, in this case, use the patents and the trademarks. We'll make sure that all would apply, whatever needs to apply for the specific product is what we would use. Intellectual property should be considered a business asset, and as such, it will protect the IP under the company umbrella. If your IP is a business asset, okay, sorry. If your IP is a business asset protected by your company, then make sure that there are security measures in place to protect it. Copyrights and trademarks only protect you from people that follow laws. If others can steal your ideas, they will. So protect them. To protect your IP internally, do not disclose, non-disclosure and confidential disclosure agreements are necessary for all employees. Avoid joint ownership. Even though the intellectual property might come from more than one person, it should be owned by the company, and all associated developers are present in any meeting involving their property. Kelly?
Yeah, thank you, Scott. So we're going to talk about the input and output identifier. So first of all, we're going to start with the input, purpose of intellectual property protection. We're going to talk about the value of intellectual property, appropriate IP protection solutions. So next, we're going to talk about the output. Software cannot be duplicated or distributed. IP value derived from solving ransomware, source code and methodologies, protection by pattern. So next, we're going to talk about the definition of scope, define intellectual property, what is considered IP, intellectual property protections, pattern, trade secret, utility, heresy, legal counsel, legality of intellectual property claims, guidance through IP and application process, execution of intellectual property, application submission, examining decision, publish intellectual property. So we're going to talk about the support and process execution, cloud share process, map with progress, traceability, process map steps distributed between appropriate support teams, managers, legal counsels, IP support, investors, and monthly meetings with teams to track progress. Management and fundings. Zoom call presentation with senior management and investors, define intellectual property, process map, estimate budget, schedule quarterly meetings with senior management and investors. IP department, protecting IP, passwords and multi-factor authentication for all employees, principle of least access for all employees, WBA, security, encrypt all data, including data at rest. VPNs are to be used for any work outside of the main building.
All right, and that is our resources for our presentation. Jonathan, thank you. Callie, thank you. Does
Thank you.
anybody have anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Nope, that's it.